Hey guys, it's Mrs. Weisling. So today we are going to do our read aloud. A tree is a plant, and this is a pretty long read aloud, so let's go ahead and just get started. And I will also go through let's see if I can get to it. Yes, and then we will also go through some of these comprehension questions that need to be done for Wednesday. So let's go ahead and get started.
A tree is a plant. A tree is the biggest plant that grows. Most kinds of trees grow from seeds the way most small plants do. There are many kinds of trees. Here are a few of them. How many do you know?
So there's a lemon tree right here, a willow, a palm tree, a persimmon tree, a conifer, and a maple. And I know we have maples in Ohio, and I love willow trees. We also have some of those as well. And conifers.
This tree grows in the country. It might grow in your yard, too. Do you know what kind it is? This is an apple tree.
You guys know I love my apples.
This apple tree came from a seed. The seed was small. It grew inside an apple. Have you ever seen an apple seed? Ask an adult to help you cut an apple in two. The seeds are in the center. They look like this.
So if you were to cut an apple in half, you would see this line along the middle, and then seeds on either side of it, and that's where the apple seeds are.
Most apple trees come from seeds that are planted. Sometimes an apple tree grows from a seed that falls to the ground. The wind blows leaves over the seed. The wind blows soil over the seed. All winter, the seed lies under the leaves and the soil. All winter, the seed lies under the ice and snow and is pushed into the ground. Spring comes. Rain falls. The sun comes out and warms the earth. The seed begins to grow.
So what this whole page is talking about is most apple seeds are planted, but sometimes the seeds can get planted on their own just by this. So it said the seed was carried by the wind, is then buried by the soil and the snow and more leaves, and then eventually when spring comes along, it just begins to grow on its own.
At first, the young plant does not look like a tree. The tree is very small. It is only a stem with two leaves. It has no apples on it. A tree must grow up before it has apples on it. Each year the tree grows. It grows tall. In 7 years, it is so tall that you can stand under its branches. In the spring, there are blossoms on the tree. Spring is apple blossom time.
Sequence of events right here. The question is, after how many years, what happens to that little plant? Well, if you look back at the text, it says in 7 years, it is so tall that you can stand under its branches. So 7 years, correct? Yes. And here's the apple tree with its beautiful blossoms.
The blossoms last only a few days. Then they fall to the ground. Now there are green leaves on the tree. Among the leaves, there are small apples. The apples are where the blossoms were before. The apples are green, and they are almost too small for you to see. The apples grow slowly. They grow all during the spring and the summer.
So the apples replace the blossoms and they grow all spring and summer.
In the fall, they are large and ripe. They are ready to eat. We can see the apples and the leaves on the branches. We can see the branches growing out of the trunk. We can see the trunk growing out of the ground. We can see the bark of the tree. The bark covers the branches and the trunk like a coat. But there is a part of the tree that we cannot see.
What do you think that part is? What do we call the part that we cannot see of a tree that's underground?
We cannot see the roots. They are under the ground. Some of the roots are large. Some of them are as small as hairs. The roots grow like branches under the ground. A tree could not live without roots.
So you can see the roots under the tree, all those little, they look almost like veins. Isn't that cool? We have veins in our, everywhere in our body, and these kind of look like the tree's veins.
Roots hold the trunk in the ground. Roots keep the tree from falling when the wind blows. Roots keep the rain from washing the tree out of the ground.
So I had no idea roots were that strong because it just said roots hold the trunk in the ground. Roots keep the tree from falling when the wind blows. We have had some pretty windy days, and I didn't realize that roots were that strong, holding that whole tree, keeping it upright.
Roots do something more. They take water from the ground. They carry the water into the trunk of the tree. The trunk carries the water to the branches. The branches carry the water to the leaves.
So the tree also gets its water from the roots.
Hundreds and hundreds of leaves grow on the branches. The leaves make food from water and air. They make food when the sun shines. The food goes into the branches. It goes into the trunk and roots. It goes to every part of the tree.
That's why leaves are so important. The leaves make the food.
Fall comes, and winter is near. The work of the leaves is over. The leaves turn yellow and brown. The leaves die and fall to the ground. Now the tree is bare. All winter it looks dead. But the tree is not dead. Under its coat of bark, the tree is alive. Spring comes again. Rain falls.
Look at that beautiful picture. And then you see on the tree as well, just the tiny little buds. That's kind of what's going on right now. We have little buds all over our trees, and some trees are even blooming.
The sun warms the earth. The tree blossoms and new leaves grow. As long as it lives, the apple tree grows. As long as it lives, the apple tree blossoms in the spring, and apples grow on it. When do you like apple trees best? In spring, when they are covered with blossoms? In summer, when they are covered with leaves? In winter, when they are bare? Or in fall, when they are covered with apples?
So after I post this video, go ahead and tell me which season is your favorite part, or which season is your favorite season for an apple tree. Is it going to be fall, winter, summer, or spring? I think the spring one looks gorgeous, but you guys know how much I love my apples, so I would have to say my favorite time would be fall because I love to eat those apples. All right, so go ahead to your packet now, your week 2 packet, and it says a tree is a plant comprehension day 3. The order in which event happens is the sequence of events. A tree is a plant tells about the events in the life of a tree. The apple tree begins as a seed. What happens next? When the tree is big, what happens to it in the spring, summer, fall, and winter? Use the flower chart below to show the order of the events through words or pictures. All right, so the tree starts as a seed. Now, what happens after the tree is a seed? What does it do? Let's go back. Oops, that was the right page. So it becomes a seed, then what happens? Then it becomes a small plant in the soil. And then in 7 years, what happens? It becomes so tall that you can stand under its branches. So first, the tree starts as a seed. Then it starts as a plant, and then it becomes an apple tree. Last, I want you to draw me a picture of what the tree looks like in each season. So in winter, the tree would have no leaves on it, right? It's bare. In spring, I believe that's when the the beautiful pink blossoms are. In summer, I think summer is when the apples start forming, and fall is when you have huge, ginormous apples. So go ahead back through the story if you need to look at the pictures. And let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow and see you soon. Bye.